everybody. My name's Token D Rock here with another stream. Hopefully, all of you are having a wonderful day. And if you're over here in the United States, you had a wonderful Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever you prefer to refer to it as. It is Tuesday, October 11th. Crypto market cap sitting right below $920 billion. Bitcoin dominance 39.7%. ETH dominance 17.2%. Can see Bitcoin is just barely holding above 19K. Has faced some volatility here in the past few days. Going to go over that a little bit. Ethereum sitting at 1284, Binance Coin at 271, Cardano at 39.41. Polkadot at $6.20, Matic below 80 cents. Just wanted to point something out for those of you that care about this stuff. But Cosmos, out of these cryptocurrencies, is the only altcoin, so to speak, that is up. Now that this is a very small list of altcoins, but just kind of interesting to point that out. Year to date, as we can see, all these projects are down. Bitcoin's down over a whopping 50%. But as you can see, Cosmos has not held up nearly as well compared to its 60-day. Looking at the 90-day though, you can see Cosmos is up a whopping 61.41%. Matic is up 46.63%. Binance Coin 23.03. Ethereum, Chainlink is up over double digits. Algo's actually up a whopping 7%. And then Polkadot, Bitcoin, and Cardano have actually been bleeding a bit. Polkadot just barely. Same thing with Bitcoin. Cardano down a whopping 4.5%, roughly speaking, past 90 days. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But looking at the 1 minute chart, you guys, we can see that Bitcoin did see some volatility here. And on the 1 minute chart, it wicked down to roughly 18. Looks like 18,870. The bulls have driven the price action back above 19,000. They got stomped out by the bears right around 19,200. What was once originally support is now resistance. Bears drove price action down just above 18.9, and the bulls right now are trying to put in a series of higher highs and battling it out for 19K. Looking at the 1 hour chart, you can see that again Bitcoin is just kind of in this zone, this range, so to speak, up and down, retesting these lows again. If it breaks to the downside, probably gonna see 18, 17, maybe $16,000 Bitcoin. Here on the daily chart, we can see that if Bitcoin does bleed a bit further, we do kind of have more or less confirmation that this is in fact a head and shoulders pattern, which would not be very bullish. Again, lower prices for Bitcoin would be in the cards. Something that possibly may be affecting the markets right now. Here we have CPI numbers coming out in just 2 days' time at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is kind of interesting because we will see if more or less inflation is still rampant. If it is, you better believe the Federal Reserve is going to nuke the market, so to speak, with the Fed rate hike. Not to mention, we have the FOMC meeting at which they will be nuking the markets potentially takes place on November 2nd. This is just before midterms. And we have one more rate hike after that. That's going to occur on the 14th of December. 2 years before the New Year's end, or sorry, New Year's. Um, Headed over to Twitter for some news. Ethereum has a larger market cap than the Bank of China. Pretty interesting, pretty significant if you ask me. Google is to now accept Bitcoin and crypto for cloud services. Again, more and more companies realizing the utility behind crypto and Bitcoin. Google partners with Coinbase to accept cryptocurrency payments for cloud services. This is who they partnered with to be able to accept cryptocurrency payments. Are we seeing companies become partnered with one another to create more of a centralized, streamlined system? I am not sure, but Coinbase and Google are officially partnered. Here we have $47 trillion banking giant BNY Mellon to offer Bitcoin custody services to clients. So let that sink in. A $47 trillion banking agent or giant, pardon me, is going to offer Bitcoin custody services to clients. Think of how many clients this $47 trillion banking giant has under its arm, so to speak. Probably millions, I'm gonna guess. Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by next halving. This, according to Morgan Creek CEO. I think 150K is in the cards by next halving. I'm not sure. Next halving is sometime in May 2024, I believe. I don't think it's gonna hit that price by the halving. Probably after 6 months to 12 months after that. I think 100K is for sure in the cards. Delete PayPal, buy Bitcoin. Why are they saying this? Well, PayPal actually removed the ability for users to close their accounts. Tells you how bad the situation is. If you're not aware, PayPal essentially made movements this weekend where essentially they didn't like the the information that was being put out by a particular person, and so they more or less threatened the person, like, hey, if you keep on posting stuff like this content, blah blah blah, we're going to fine you a whopping $2,500. So a lot of people are starting to boycott PayPal. This is rather sad in my opinion because I actually like PayPal quite a bit. I use them for a number of things, but hearing about this, I will definitely start scaling back how much I use them. I'm going to try and make a conscious effort in doing so. PayPal is now back down and apologized, saying their new policy was a mistake. Weird how those mistakes only go one way. Don't believe them. They're probably just backtracking because they got caught. Delete and boycott PayPal. PayPal is just a test to see how people react when governments use CBDCs against their citizens, and it's kind of true because we're more or less seeing the direction in which governments and corporations are headed with their ESG nonsense, among many other things. Um, Here we have the S&P 500, Nasdaq sink to lowest levels in 1 year's time. Again, rather significant. I do recall September being a rather bearish month last year. October, we did see some pumpage out of Bitcoin. That is when we put in the new all-time high. We went up to roughly 68, 69K, and then we fizzled out, came crashing down. Um, Another news, Morgan Stanley says housing affordability is deteriorating faster than at any point in our data history. Not a good sign for things to come. Inflation causing higher prices at the local bakery, explaining all the price changes for his ingredients. Look at this. In January 21 compared to 2022, flour is up a whopping prices if the West continues with their. It's pretty sad, pretty disgusting. Explosion on the bridge between Crimea and Russia. Kiev wishes happy birthday to Putin. Biden, Ursula von der Leyen, and Zelensky will lead the world to nuclear war. It certainly is looking like that more and more every day. Justin, Putin accuses Ukraine of Crimea bridge explosion, says it was a terrorist attack against critical infrastructure of the Russian Federation. Are we going to potentially see a escalation of war here? That I would certainly argue that was already an escalation of war, but Putin has been talking tough about terrorist attacks or terror attacks on Russian Federation soil or infrastructure of Russian Federation. So could we potentially see a false flag where um, more or less we see the West attack itself and then blame it on Putin? I certainly hope not, but I don't think it's out of question. It's something to be considered. We've done stuff like this before. Between the Gulf of Tonkin, back in during the Vietnam War, we sunk a ship and reported that it was the Northern Vietnamese or the Viet Cong that did so, and it was to basically make people here in the U.S. more adamant for going to war over in Vietnam. Again, I don't see this not being a potentiality of being the case. Uh, some other news: Ukraine's President Zelensky. I rule out discussions with Putin, but dialogue may be feasible with another Russian leader or in a different configuration. What is that even supposed to mean?